All right, James, you ready for lesson number 2? Let me get this, let me make this bigger. All right, so periodic table of elements. Before we get started, James, I want you to write me in 5 to 7 sentences using proper paragraph format. I want you to write me 5 to 7 sentences of why is it important to understand the elements that make up our world. Another way to state it is, why is learning about the periodic table important? So I want you to take out a sheet of paper, pause this video, and I want you to write me 5 to 7 sentences on why it's important for you to learn about the periodic table. You're not allowed to use the internet, no phone, no research. I just want to hear from your perspective, or why do you think? So it's not anything I want you to research. Why do you think learning about the periodic table of elements is important? 5 to 7 sentences. Go ahead and pause the video now until you're done. All right. So you should be done with your 5 to 7 sentences. Can't wait to read them and hear what you wrote, or can't wait to read them and see what you wrote. My response to that question would be, it is important for you to learn these elements because these elements make up almost every living and non-living thing in our world is derived from elements. Just to give you an idea, there's some elements on here that are very common to you, such as oxygen. Very common to you. You know you need to breathe it. Carbon, what you exhale when you breathe. K, potassium, found in bananas. And the list could go on and on. Iron, nickel. I mean, there are just so many elements that are essential to life that it is important that you have a good understanding of how these elements come together. In a future lesson, they come together and make compounds. So it's just very important that you understand the basic principle of life, and I'm talking about from a scientific standpoint. These elements make up the basic elements of life and non-life. So let's move on. All right. You see, these are families. I have the title families or groups. So let me just say, just like you belong to the Davis family, every element belongs to a family. What makes what makes a family? So think about it this way. It is not that just because you share the last name Davis with your mom, your pop, your brothers and sisters, that is, I guess, one way that y'all make up a family. But let's look at it from a scientific standpoint. What makes you, your brothers and sisters, your mom and pop a family from a scientific standpoint is that the fact that you guys have very, very similar chemical makeups. And that is evident in the fact that you look like your mom, or you look like your pop, or you and your brothers and sisters look alike. Different things that you guys may all be into music that could be, contributed to genetics. So just like your family, your natural family has genetic commonalities or things in common genetically, so do all of these. So do all of the elements. Now, this is a list of all the elements. What I want you to do on your same sheet of paper, I want you to skip a few lines, and on that same sheet of paper, you see how every number, sorry about that. Here's what I want you to do. So I want you to number these: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There are 18 families on the periodic table. I will tell you, hydrogen does not belong to any of them. I like this chart, but I don't like it. A lot of periodic table of element charts will leave a little gap between hydrogen and lithium here to show you that hydrogen does not belong with that family. So here's what I want you to do again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 through 12, you could actually do. You could go 1, 2, 3 through 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, or 3 through 11. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 3 through 12 are all the same family. This middle block, they're all the same family. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So put those numbers at the top. So they would go right up on your paper, they would go right up here. 1, 2, 3 through 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Then on a sheet of paper, I want you to write these families down and then tell me which one of these families. This is how you're going to learn the family names. Which one of these families is family 18? Is it boron? Is it the oxygen? Is it the fluorine group or family? Family group means the same thing for our purposes. Carbon. So take a moment, pause the video, write down these names, and then tell me. You can research this part. You can use your internet to tell me which one of these is group 1, group 2, family 3, family 4. So go ahead and pause it. Remember, you'll just put 3 through 12 by one of these because 3 through 12 are all the same family. All right, go ahead and pause the video and do that on your sheet of paper. All right, now. Next thing, you have groups and you have families, but the chart, your chart is not necessarily color coded by just group or families. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Just like your family, y'all share similar genetics. We'll say. You and your family share similar chemical makeups. So do each one of these families. Families 1 through 18 all share a similar chemical makeup. In the lessons that I'm going to give you, I'm not going to talk about their chemical makeup. I'm going to talk to you more about their characteristics. I'll make an analogy. I'm not going to talk about maybe so much what's on the inside of the element. How's that? But more so what that element does and what that element looks like and how that element acts. So put it this way. These chart, it would be similar if I said, okay, and it really only matters when you get to this side. As you can see, over here, I colored each family the same. But over here, we did something different. Because when we get over here, it would be like, okay, instead of putting these guys and color them all the same, even though these are all in the same family, the yellows would be, all the yellows like to play basketball. Think of it that way. All the purples like to play music. And all the pinks over here like to do construction. I don't know. So while we're going to talk more about the elements, behaviors, and what they do when we get over here than what their family name. All right. And that's going to make more sense here in a moment. Here's what I want you to do. for right now, on your same sheet of paper, notice here we said organizing your chart. On your same sheet of paper, it says research the names used to describe the elements that are shaded. So you shaded some elements red. What are they called? And you can, this will help you. This actually will help you with a lot of that. You shaded some element orange. What are they called? You shaded some green. What are they called? Some blue, some yellow, some purple, some pink. So part of this will be a repeat of what you already did. But then over here, you're going to discover some different names because all of these are pink, but they're not necessarily in the same family. I hope that makes sense. So what you need to do is go online and maybe find a color-coded periodic table chart and figure out what's the name, other than their family name, what is the name given to all of these elements that are shaded pink? So that's what I want you to do them on that same sheet of paper. All right, when you get done with all of those things, take a picture of the paper and I want you to send it to me and then we'll do lesson 3.